Welcome back, Officer Republics, your course on Enroll Police Chief APGAINS. You know exactly what type of APGAINS it is, so I don't even need to tell you. We're just going to hop into it. When should you farm Jedi Knight Revan? Now, very famously, if you open with the Hyperdrive bundle, which I believe people still do to this day, many years ago, I think 2020, January of 2020, on my birthday, I received this many birthday presents and this many birthday wishes for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just an awful person and no one loves me. But I decided that my birthday present to myself was going to be $100 spent on the Hyperdrive bundle, and I would start covering Galaxy of Heroes on YouTube. Turned out to be a pretty good decision in my opinion. So maybe the Hyperdrive bundle, not the worst thing in the world. But if you do get it, you should open up with Jedi Knight Revan and CLS really quickly. Mostly because they give you a 5-star Jolie Bindo and Basilishan. You're halfway there. Accelerated rate made this infinitely faster for most people. For Jedi Knight Revan unlock, you need like Basilishan at 10, Jolie at 8, and Zalbar Mission and T3 at like level 53, gear 5 or something like that. Pretty easy unlock. As far as early relic priority, I would probably relic 3 Jedi Knight Revan, and if at all possible, take Jolie Bindo to Relic 1 maybe in the earlier levels. As you get to like 2 million GP, maybe take me to Relic 3. The reason I say this over Basilishan is like, you don't really need the extra damage, and Revan kind of does all the damage, and Yoda when you kind of plug him in there. And the extra revives just give you extra options. In early Grand Arenas, you want recovery, you're going to have that with Jedi Knight Revan lead, which is why he's a great offensive GL team, or GAC team. Good on defense too in some cases, but great on offense because he recovers banners. And then if you go against like the classic early GAC is like Jedi Knight Revan versus General Grievous, where Grievous is just killing you and killing you and killing you, and Jolie Bindo's like, hey, motherfucker, every time I assist, my cooldowns are lowered, and I keep bringing motherfuckers back. It's fantastic. Hermit Yoda, obviously, with a lot of changes that have happened in the many years since I farmed Jedi Knight Revan, it's a lot easier to get Hermit Yoda. It's a lot easier to get all of these characters. So you guys should be blessed. This was a pain in the ass for me, and go back to like OG days. Everyone was there. GLs exist because of this guy. This was power creep manifest back in the day. Very famous mobile game video. Like, how expensive is Jedi Knight Revan? Ridiculous. That being said, outside of the Hyperdrive bundle, if you're just a normal free-to-play player, I would say, generally speaking, if you've picked up your CLS and you've unlocked a 5-star Padme and Chewbacca, it's probably about time to farm Jedi Knight Revan. We're actually going to do a video tomorrow, probably. I'm going to schedule these in order, hopefully tomorrow, talking about when you should farm Darth Revan. And there is some nuance between farming Jedi Knight Revan versus Darth Revan first. A lot of it comes down to roster construction in the first couple months, but that's not really a huge deal. We'll talk about that tomorrow on the Darth Revan video. But I would say, generally speaking, it's probably best to open up with a Jedi Knight Revan. Call it your 4th team. You do a little bit of CLS, a little bit of Padme, a little bit of Bounty Hunters, a little bit of Imperial Troopers, and then you start farming up your Jedi Knight Revan. So you're going to have Jedi Knight Revan really early. What are you going to kind of do with him? Now, a lot of the nuance of this video, or a lot of the value maybe you can extract from this video, is not just going to be, oh, you farm him really early, okay, video is over. What are you actually going to do with him? Now, because of money-based matchmaking, your opponents are higher GP, they have more relics, they're blah, blah, blah. You guys understand this by now, or if you're a new player, maybe you don't understand it, you're in for a world of hurt. The great thing about an early Jedi Knight Revan farm is, yes, you're getting undersized max banners, which is going to help in GAC as you move up the divisions, and instead of needing 3 offensive teams, they can do undersized max banners, your Bounty Hunters, your Vader Solos, and your CLSs. You're going to need to add a 4th and a 5th, yada, yada, yada. And the great thing about the Jedi Knight Revan farm in general is you can run a Jedi Knight Revan, Jolie Bindo, anything else. Probably now you would do like a Hoda. In the olden days, I would do, excuse me, I don't know why I'm burping. I would do like old Ben Kenobi and stuff like that. But you can plug in a 3rd Jedi or a 4th and have like an undersized max banner team there because of the assist recovery. Another great thing to do, I think maybe it's Shakti or Ezra. I think they both call assists. They're great. They're great for the Jedi Knight Revan team. But another thing you can do is you can flex out Basilishan at Gear 12 or Relic 1, whatever you want to do, into her own team. Obviously, there's a protection up, so if there's a backwall team that's middling strength, you can make sure you can get an undersized max banner there too. So you're going to get real good efficiency offensively because you can split this team up. And this kind of trend carries the Jedi faction pretty far, especially as free-to-play players where you're punching up, and why I have always recommended JML as the best 2nd Galactic Legend, but more and more I've seen people kind of point him as the 1st Galactic Legend. Obviously, this is stuff for a different video. If you're being the most efficient, you're getting JMK first just because he's powerful, but a lot of that has to do with how good are your ships, how good is your guild, how blah, blah, blah. There's a ton of factors into that, but if you're a normal player who can't take advantage of everything and be perfectly efficient, JML is probably going to be that first Galactic Legend. And the reason this ties into Jedi Knight Revan is all the way up the Jedi scale. Sorry, my puppy is walking around me and being very cute. All up the Jedi scale, they kind of mirror the Jedi Knight Revan path where you can split teams up. You can split up JML and Jedi Knight Luke. You can add a Cal Kestis to a Jedi Knight Revan team or to a JML team to make them stronger, or separate it out into another team. Jedi Knight Revan is going to hold viability forever, basically because he's either an amazing leadership or like the best Jedi plug and play that there is outside of like JMK, where you need to have specific Galactic Republic teams. So you're never going to regret farming this team as early as possible, because if you leverage yourself into a Jedi Knight Luke, Cal Kestis, JML, blah, 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 you're going to have value there. If you stay away from it and you go into something else, at least you're still going to have a powerful single team, two great undersized max banner offensive teams if you split them up, or a powerful defensive team, a great counter to all things, and he's always going to hold that long-term value. So before we kind of get out of here, I'm going to take a couple of minutes. I really want to know, and I'm not going to be able to read these comments, I guess, until this video comes out, obviously, but I'm scheduling this video like a week out from when I'm recording it. So I'll be back probably 2 days after this video goes live, so I'll come back and read the comments. Let me know what you do, and I'll ask the same question on the Darth Revan video, because I think I'm going to get kind of a different audience. The same people never watch the same video back-to-back, or videos back-to-back. I have very, like, random viewer retention things. There's, like, a week where people love me, and there's a week where it's like, APGAINS says bad words, and he has no production value, and he just stares at the screen forever, and nothing happens, and my ADHD can't handle it. But let me know, do you open up, or if you were starting a new account, if you don't have a low-level account right now, would you open up with Jedi Knight Revan, or would you open up with Darth Revan? And kind of give me a quick synopsis why. A lot of people love to leave these like huge paragraph comments, and while I do read every comment, I obviously don't reply to all of them because that just takes too much time. I kind of just go like, on my like breaks at work, go just to kind of get some feedback, and that's why we've been doing a lot of polls recently to get some information on people, or to get some information on how people feel. But let me know what your thinking is as far as farming Jedi Knight Revan versus Darth Revan first, especially accelerated rate that happened maybe 2 or 3 years ago. This is not really a debate. You can kind of do the same thing you can kind of do both of them at the exact same time, which is fun. But if you guys are opinionated on that, let me know. Dog is fucking panting, so I think I'm gonna go take him to get some water. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is like the 10th video I've recorded in a row, and at this point it's later in the week. I'm kind of it's gonna be a rough. Over 3 funerals, it's a bad time. So thank you guys for supporting me as always. As always, I love you, and I'll see you later.